Cordial greetings, Doctor Who fans. I have achieved the acquisition which I was going to show you when I came back later on, as mentioned in my previous video, as a to be continued, same bat time, same bat channel scenario. Right, so we have here the Doctor Who Chronicles, William Hartnell, the first season, well, 1963-64. Now, of course, Doctor Who's been like a thread throughout my entire life since the 1960s. It's literally followed me everywhere I go. Literally like the Bad Wolf scenario, as in, remember the Bad Wolf episode? Yeah. No, it wasn't called that, was it? It was the one with Margaret Slitheen. Yeah, anyway. The point I'm making is, in that episode, he mentioned that Bad Wolf follows him everywhere. As Doctor Who's followed me everywhere since the 1960s, for some unknown reason. Anyway, here we are. It's a delicious magazine. Now, since I know every story from 1963 onwards, I love the photograph. Susan, an unearthly child. There's no one, literally no one, I can suggest to you that beats for unearthly lookingness, shall we say. I don't think anyone's matched her since even the new series. No one really matched Susan, as in Caroline Ford, for looking unearthly. I don't think, anyway. Right, so we've got the Diary of Doctor Who, of course, where they talk about the production inceptions, shall we say, the origins of the unearthly child, etc. Oh, look, there's the first Radio Times issue. I had that copy of that myself in mint condition, but I sold it a few years ago because they don't last forever. I mean, they're going to deteriorate, so someone else might enjoy them, I thought. Ariel, that was a BBC in-house magazine, wasn't it? Which presumably was talking about the casting of several actors there. Now, 10,000 BC, aka Unearthly Child. The first story with the Stone Age men, of course. The biography of William Hartnell, which is very interesting. Of course, it's. I've seen a lot of his films. What's that? Brighton Rock. Yeah, that's here. Yankee Instruments. Yep. Carry On Sergeant, of course, very famous. Yes, Mutants, aka the Daleks story. Again, I have an evolution of the Daleks in there too. Of course, I presume Ray Cusack, they mentioned that, along with Terror Nation, etc. Chris Barry, of course, directed many Doctor Who episodes, including The Power of the Daleks. Inside the Spaceship, aka The Edge of Destruction. Yes, the one with the scissors, remember that? Scary. See, Susan was unearthly. There she is again, word for sound, there she is, our Susan. Wonderful. It's wonderful. Marco Polo, the story many people want to see again, but I've very little recollection of that, but even from the 60s, very little recollection of it. The clothing of the Doctor, which of course, he had such a strange outfit, William Hartnell, but it suited him down to the ground, didn't it, really? The Keys of Marinus, of course. The 6-part series with the alien Vord, if you recall. Biography of William Russell, aka Ian Chesterfield, aka Ian Chesterton. Yes, what a nice man. Verity Lambert, of course, and the producers, like directors like Wallace Hussein, etc. Very good. That photograph's been shown so often. I love that picture too, of the dropped up the controls and the mutants. The Aztecs, Kamaka, Doctor's love interest, the one where he almost chokes on his tea, or was it coffee he had? It was coffee, wasn't it? He almost choked on that beverage he had, whatever it was, when she mentioned she was in love with him. Very funny, that. Again, from the archives, interviews, which we'll get to read them. Toy stories, much of the merchandise that was in them days, which wasn't always screen accurate, but lovable nonetheless. All those cards, the Dalek suits, the Dalek Doctor in the Daleks book are very famous. I've got the new editions of that, not the old ones, but I have the new reprints. Sensorites. And Peter Glaze of Crackerjack was in that, if you recall. Special effects, which were, in those days, used to have to suspend your disbelief, which was quite easily done in black and white, but when it got to colour in the 70s, a bit not as easy. Jacqueline Hill, of course, aka Barbara. A lovely, lovely person. I really liked her. Ian and Barbara, they kind of like were the balancing act between the Doctor's strangeness and Susan's strangeness. They were they grounded us on Earth and gave us the stories from the Earth perspective, shall we say. The design of the TARDIS console. Who can't love that? Look at this. I made that, but I mean, we're all inspired by that one from the original Hartnell era, weren't we? I was, anyway. Dalek Invasion of Earth. Again, that was one of the last story of season 1. Caroline Ford, again, an unearthly child, now a lady. Now, of course, she was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. There's no one like her, no one like her. And even the people who, recreate her role. I mean, the girl who's very good, but that's not quite the same as the original, is it? Even William Hartnell, not quite the same as the original William Hartnell. I mean, David Bradley's good. He's very good. I like him. But it's not William Hartnell, is he? Anyway, other things on the TV, which were Stingray. Of course, I don't see it here, but obviously there were things like Fugitive. Good series out, The Fugitive. Lost in Space, which isn't mentioned here. I just can't see it anyway. All the Irwin Allen shows, where are they? Where's Time Tunnel, Land of the Giants? And, they're mentioned here. They're mentioned here, but there's no pictures. My favourite show is there. Land of the Giants, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Lost in Space, Time Tunnel. Sea Beneath the Sea was a movie, of course. But there we are. In conclusion, a nice composite of different colour photographs from that. You'll have to obviously get it to acquire to see all the goodies in here, but it's really worth the buy. Beautiful. And a good... I've got all of them so far, these Chronicles. They're very good, and they make a nice thing on your shelf. So, yeah, lovely. You've got to love this guy. You've got to love this man. He was the Doctor. Everyone else is an impersonation, I know, and they're very good. I love people, Jodie Whittaker I love, for example. But William Hartnell, he was Doctor Who. There's no one else like him. And on that note, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your evening, and take care of yourselves. And it feels good to be here.